Hey guys, Dave for Nerdarchy here for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with some nerds.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nathan Nerdarch.
And before we get into this viewer request / GM911 / help me Nerdarchy, you're my only hope.
Sign up for the newsletter.
What he said pretty much.
You can do that in the description below.
We're going to give you tips for RPGing every week. We're going to let you
learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
And there'll be other cool stuff. With that, let's just dive into this. So we have Glyphtron, and basically, all right. So he's got this really cool idea and premise. He's got an evil necromancer, and that necromancer has put all the players into the dream state. And in this dream state, they're each in a tavern, but not the same tavern.
Right.
And so the first problem is he's got to figure out how to clue them in that they're not actually in a tavern, but they're dreaming. The second problem was that, I think they're all physically in the same spot, even though they don't know it. Is then he wants to know, after they defeat the necromancer, how do they get out of the necromancer's lair? And then the third thing is there's several settlements nearby, and he wants them to end up in one of these settlements. How does he get them to the settlement?
Okay. Well, first off,
I thought you didn't have any ideas.
First off, he wants them to figure out how to get out of this dreamscape, or how to notice that they're in a dreamscape. And I would we don't have the character information of what the party is, but I would look at, okay, well, the person who's the rowdy drunk, there's almost always one in a party, so I'm assuming there's going to be one. So the alcohol is not affecting him, the same way it normally would. And the person who's, here for this other idea, the food doesn't taste as good, or, the scents just aren't right. Every character, I would come up with a list of 2 or 3 things, maybe as many as 5, and just subtly begin, putting these things in there.
You could use NPCs that really shouldn't be in the tavern, as far as the player is concerned, like
their mom or
their
dead father or something.
Yeah, you need to start building this lattice work of inconsistencies for them to poke holes in.
Yeah, I was thinking about the style of there's a glitch in the Matrix, or with Inception where the top keeps spinning when you're still under, those kind of concepts where this physical reality doesn't seem real. Maybe the barmaid pours a drink and just keeps pouring a drink. Something strange is always there's something just seems off.
Until they notice, maybe you're the barmaid's been over there pouring that pitcher of ale for several minutes now. And you would think it would be full, and it's when they say something about it, she stops, she's done pouring, and you kind of just
and then she comes over and takes your order or something.
You could fill the tavern with people that are in their thoughts, because the necromancer's gotta have things to go with, and if he's trying to keep 4 illusions going at once, that can be taxing on him.
Maybe for you, Ted.
Yeah, there's a dream spell or something where you can mess with people's dreams. So he might even be using that spell format anyway for kind of.
So if he's trying to work with four different things at a time, whenever he's focused on what one player is acting, you could be giving the other 3, clues.
So the dream's covered, I think. And you guys, you're gonna help him out too. I know you guys. You're awesome like that.
So his next question is how does he get them out of the lair? And I'm puzzled at this, because typically players aren't going to just.
Yeah, that's not your job as the DM to figure it out. It's for them to figure out, right?
Yeah.
You got your maps, or even if you're winging it, you're going to want to impart to them that there's dangers, and that there's safety in numbers, and they're going to feel better off sticking together than going their separate ways. Hopefully,
maybe they all appear on these strange beds or pillars, slabs that are all connected together with runes and things drawn on the ground around them, kind of the dream spell.
Just put them in the same room.
And
where they were sleeping.
Maybe some of them wake up, and the people that are just not getting the idea that they're in a dream, they get slapped awake. Hey, what the heck are we doing here?
So I feel like the how do I get them out together isn't really that hard, and obviously you could, and as far as getting them to a settlement, one, they could have low resources such as food and water, so they need to find a place to replenish them, or maybe they have loot they want to offload and sell.
Yeah,
so they're going to want to take it someplace.
Snag a few things on the necromancer's table as they leave, and they're like, "Ooh, this gem could be worth something."
So there's always going to be those things. They typically, adventurers, once they've left a dungeon, they typically want to go to town to get a good rest, to get a good meal. People don't like eating hardtack.
Or, they've just been all worked up about being in an awesome tavern, and it turns out they totally got screwed on that one, and they never even got to be in the tavern. So now they want a tavern. And where do you go for a tavern? Civilization.
And maybe the necromancer was really lazy, and he actually took the name of the tavern from the tavern by like this last settlement he was actually at. Kind of like give him a whole freak out about it, but. Hopefully they don't go in and kill. Hopefully they don't go in and kill the innkeeper. Or anything. That would backfire.
The barmaid.
Yeah.
That's constantly pouring the drink.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helps you. A couple quick ideas. Check the comments below, Glyphtron. You're gonna get a ton of great suggestions down there. So guys, like, share, and subscribe. You know the drill.
You can follow us on Instagram.
You can check out the forum over at nerdarchy.com.
So until next time, stay nerdy.